So now, how can you afford to travel in your 20s? Now, when you hear that statement, unaingiwa na kabaridi because unajiuliza, nitasoma saa ngapi, nipate internship saa ngapi, nipate salary saa ngapi, do nipate time off from said work to start traveling. But there are a few things and a few ways you can, you know, do your schedule or just shift things around for you to be able to travel, okay? Because we don't want to see you 90 years old trying to climb Mount Everest. Please, please. You should have done that in your 20s and your 30s. I think we should just turn this into affording to travel the world in your youth, okay? Saying in your 20s is a bit limiting. It's a very small time period. Number one, work hard and save money before a trip, okay? Not all of us are Nepo babies, okay? My parents cannot afford to send me to South Africa for a trip, you know?
A gap year in Europe.
A gap year to backpack through Europe. Unfortunately, my parents cannot afford that. But now that I'm working, there's even a plan. Kathami, we had started this year. Tulianza your savings plan. It was breaking down the amount you should put away each week. And then by the end of the year, it was a very significant sum. However, January 27th, ilikuwa wiki ya 3, nika withdraw your pesa, nilikuwa na emergency. And surprisingly,
a small emergency.
When you have this money stored away somewhere, you always have an emergency. Ni kama unajuanga, mara a relative, sijui aligongwa na ng'ombe. Ati brother yako alikula sindano. As in, something always happens that requires you to use this emergency fund. Na haukumbuki you had saved it for traveling the world. Because
South Africa,
let's be honest, siku hizi you don't need a visa to go to South Africa. Tangu wafungue hivyo, I've been seeing people on my Instagram just traveling. Ni kama wanaenda Arusha. You know,
Pew, pew.
kila mtu, pew, 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 pew. They've just been gallivanting. So, we already had a destination in mind. Hadi tuko tumesema days. Ungetwala ukifanya budget. So that's what you do first. You work hard so that you're able to have a disposable income that you can set aside and save.
Absolutely. Another very important thing is researching on everything cheap. Like, I know a lot of people are always trying to do like when you go to Maldives, for example, when you think of a beach that is turquoise blue waters, all you think about is seashells, Ushelisheli kule, na Maldives, na sijui Zanzibari. Umeona Chalbi Desert, iko hapa tu Mwabadha. Umeenda Chalbi Desert ukaona turquoise water ukashindwa kuswim.
Eka location Maldives ukiwa Chalbi.
Ukiwa Chalbi, weke location. Water kuswim. Like, whether you know, people can't even tell the difference.
Yeah.
Because it is turquoise blue waters. Have you gone to Chalbi? No. Uko hapo unasema you want to hike a mountain. It's hapa Ngong Hills. Sindio iko hapa tu. Sindio? Why have you not started Ngong Hills before you are starting there to claim Mount Kilimanjaro? Have you thought about it? So start to think about cheap everything. Don't be booking a hotel. You've seen those hotels in the Maldives that are floating in the water, and then there's a jacuzzi, an outdoor jacuzzi, which is connected to a small indoor pool, infinity pool, which next ndio hiyo iko kwa ocean. We all know that hotel. Tunaijua. Inakanga vizuri, by the way. Hi, you will not sleep.
A whole month of content.
You will not sleep, I'm telling you. But think about it this way. There are hotels that are nearby there in other islands where you can travel to the beach and still enjoy it. You can still, you know, fake live your lifestyle where you're like, you go and live in that cheap place, and then in the morning you take a boat, you go and take selfies and video vlog the way, oh my god, this hotel room is so expensive. That's what I'm saying. Like, think about cheap things, you know? When you think about eating food, lobsters and whatever, everyone is always thinking about a chef bringing you a big lobster with all that butter nicely with the parsley, and it looks really nicely presented. Inakuja na tule twa fili. You know those two fireworks that they normally come to the table with. All of that. Why not think about the other activities where you actually go in fishing, you fish for your own lobster, and they cook for you for all of dirt cheap. Like, think about cheap. Yeah?
What's
but also don't get
affordable
kidnapped.
to you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
don't get kidnapped.
Don't be too cheap.
In the name of cheap. Yeah.
And another thing is flying during the off season. Kama nimekupoteza hapo, hivi ndo namaanisha, okay? You know when you're about to leave work, alafu unapata ni rush hour, okay? Instead of kuenda rush hour, uende pale Super Metro, unaambiwa fare ni 200 sababu kumenyesha kidogo, mbona usiingie kwa kahoteli, ukunywe kachai kadogo na mandazi urelax. And then by the time you're getting out of this small hotel, there's no traffic, fare imerudi dhate, you know. So stop traveling. Stop traveling during Christmas season. And that's another thing, going to Mombasa during Christmas.
Oh my God.
Why are you doing that? You're uko kwa beach, mumefinyana hivi. It's just
and then everybody, you know, there's always a limit.
Exactly.
You will see too easy, and then there's a limit. The reef becomes makeup on a two-legged floaters.
To a private beach, and even the private beach itself is looking very crowded. All I'm saying is you don't have to travel
Easter,
during those
big holidays.
Travel February. And okay, maybe Valentine's, you know, travel when there's no major
between May and April. There's never really much going on.
Yeah, you go there, you're able to enjoy everything. It's peaceful, it's quiet,
the weather is nice,
cheap. It's probably half the price of season, you know, fare and tickets and accommodation and everything. It'll be practically half the amount that you'd have spent maybe at Christmas. So travel off season.
Yeah, another important one is look for jobs that can help you to travel to these places, or get a recruitment agency to get you like a small part-time job, such that, for example, you want to travel to Canada, right? Get a small job as a waitress, a barista, whatever. And guess what? When you're there, you can travel using the Schengen visa still applies to some of the countries that are still in the EU. You can travel to Paris, ndio huyo wewe next weekend tunakuona uko Germany, ndio wewe next weekend tunakuona uko hapa nini Switzerland, next weekend tunakuona. Yani, think about it that way. Or if you're also doing that, you can also now get a job in the specific place. Like this month I'm going to go to Paris and I will also go to London. Get a job, apply for 2 weeks in Paris, and then apply for another quick job. It doesn't have to be a posh job, you know, sweeping in those Tesco's of theirs, becoming a cleaning person in the Tesco. It still gives you, one, money to travel there, and two, it gives you a job so that you're constantly also updating your CV. You're not just wasting time.
Exactly.
And it happens all the time. People do it. In fact, right now I hear people in Germany are asking you, just come. If you have a Form 4 degree, Form 4 diploma, just come, look for a job here. We'll give you 9 months. Look for a job when you're here. In fact, if you have a degree, kuja tu, tutakupatia kazi sisi wenyewe. You don't even have to go looking. Why? Because you all know mortality rate iko wapi. All the people wako huko in their 90s and their 80s, they don't have a youth the demographic is very short on youth, so they're looking for anyone who wants to go there. We saw times like Qatar, people who were going for the World Cup. What did people do? They applied for jobs there. Didn't they still see the World Cup?
Exactly.
They did, and at even cheaper prices. So look for a job wherever you want to travel. It can really aid with finances and also just like giving you a work visa, which will make it easier for you even to go.
Exactly. And speaking of jobs, sometimes the job is the problem. Unapata, it's limiting you. You have the resources, but your job is consuming all of your time. Let's say you already used all your sick days. You want to travel. This month you want to go here. Next month you want to go there. But your job requires you to attend 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Uko na show kama
exactly.
sisi.
Uko na show. You have to be live 6 to 7 p.m. So there's this thing called being able to work remotely. And during COVID time, quarantine season, we thought
everybody was on
would
Zoom.
go to hell. Exactly. And everyone was able to work remotely. People are saying they're working from home. Kumbe ako Canada, anaenjoy huko. Ako Disneyland, anaenjoy, attend meeting, akiwa kwa roller coaster. Life was beautiful. So if you're able to have a job where you're able to work remotely, you're able to meet your quota at the end of the day or at the end of the week, and all is well, you don't have to report, 9 to 5, that's a huge advantage, You're getting your money, you're working, you can work from everywhere, anywhere in the planet. You can just work from there. And yeah, so find a job that allows you to work remotely.
Absolutely. And as we're traveling, let's just keep in mind one thing. You don't have to go so far for you to say you have traveled. You're over here trying to go to Dubai. Have you been to Zanzibar? That's a question I am asking myself. Umefika Zanzibar? Ndio uanze kusema una Dubai. Umefika Rift Valley for you to start saying you're going to what do you call what's a rich Grand Canyon? Umefika Rift Valley, ukaona Rift Valley.
Unataka kuona
Umeenda hapa kuona Lake Victoria ama unataka kukimbia Egypt kuona River Nile penye inapita na inatoka hapa kwa source ya Lake. Can we get serious? Can we all get serious and travel local? Domestic travel is actually very, very fun. It's very important as well. Go here first and then start exploring further.
Exactly. Okay. Don't be like Miss Trudy. Miss Trudy who didn't know that Uganda has a national park.
Imagine.
And she embarrassed all of us as Kenyans.
Wow.
We were like, damn, you don't even say that. I was shocked and surprised when I discovered Uganda. And we were like, Kenyans are truly the Americans of East Africa.
Really are.
We really are.
We really are.
So do not be an American today. that came
That's
off
wrong.
Have a lovely weekend. My name is Trudy Faye. And that's just it.
Yes, amazing weekend to you. I hope it rains this weekend. Sisi sote tukae ndani ya nyumba tukicomplain. You know, let me tell you one thing. If you're going to be that mumu that I will see on the internet saying, oh my God, it's raining. I need this rain to stop. Why aren't you the same mumu that was saying it's too hot, you need the rain to come? Can you people appreciate? Can you people appreciate? The ancestors are doing a thing. Kathomi,
Bye.
bye.
It's been dry. It's been hella dry.
It's been mad.
We need rain.